Genesis 30. And when Rachel saw that she bore Yaakov no children, Rachel envied her sister, and said unto Yaakov, Give me children, or else I die. And Yaakov's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, Am I in Elohim's stead? Who has withheld from you the fruit of the womb? And she said, Behold, my maid Bilhah. Go into her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to be his woman. And Yaakov went in to her. And Bilhah conceived, and bore Yaakov a son. And Rahel said, Elohim has judged me, and has also heard my voice, and has given me a son. Therefore called she his name Dan. And Bilhah, Rahel's maid, conceived again, and bore Yaakov a second son. And Rahel said, With great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Yaakov to be his woman. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bore Yaakov a son. And Leah said, A troop comes, and she called his name God. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bore Yaakov a second son. And Leah said, Happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Ashur. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest, and found mandrakes in the field, and brought them to his mother Leah. Then Rahel said unto Leah, Give me, I pray you, of your son's mandrakes. And she said unto her, Is it a small matter that you have taken as my man? And would you take away as my son's mandrakes also? And Rahel said, Therefore he shall lie with you tonight for your son's mandrakes. And Yaakov came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him, and said, You must come in unto me, for surely I have hired you with my son's mandrakes. And he lay with her that night. And Elohim hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived, and bore Yaakov the fifth son. And Leah said, Elohim has given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my man. And she called his name Issachar. And Leah conceived again, and bore Yaakov a sixth son. And Leah said, Elohim has endued me with a good dowry. Now will my man dwell with me, because I have borne him six sons. And she called his name Zebulun. And afterwards she bore a daughter, and called her name Dinah. And Elohim rememberedeth Rahel, and Elohim hearkened to her, and openedeth her womb. And she conceived, and bore a son, and said, Elohim has taken away my reproach. And she called his name Yosef, and said, Yahuwah shall add to me another son. It came to pass, when Rahel had borne Yosef, that Yaakov said unto Laban, Send me away, that I may go unto my own place and to my own country. Give me eth my women and eth my children, for whom I have served you, and let me go, for you knoweth my service which I have done you. And Laban said unto him, I pray you, if I have found favor in your eyes, tarry, for I have learned by experience that Yahuwah has blessed me for your sake. And he said, appoint me your wages, and I will give it. And he said unto him, you knoweth how I have served you, and how your cattle was with me. For it was little which you had before I came, and it is now increased into a multitude. And Yahuwah has blessed you since my coming. And now, when shall I provide for mine own house also? And he said, what shall I give you? And Yaakov said, you shall not give me anything. If you will do this thing for me, I will again feed and guard your flock. I will pass through all of your flock today, removing from thence all the speckled and spotted cattle, and all the brown cattle among the sheep, and the spotted and speckled among the goats, and of such shall be my hire. So shall my righteousness answer for me in time to come. When it shall come from my hire before your face, every one that is not speckled and spotted among the goats, and brown among the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me. And Laban said, behold, I would it might be according to your word. And he removed that day the goats that were ring-straked and spotted, and all the she-goats that were speckled and spotted, and every one that had some white in it, and all the brown among the sheep, and gave them unto the hands of his sons. And he set 3 days' journey betwixt himself and Yaakov feedeth the rest of Laban's flocks. And Yaakov took him rods of green poplar, and of the hazel and chestnut tree, and pilled white streaks in them, and made the white appear which was in the rods. And he setteth the rods which he had pilled before the flocks in the gutters in the watering troughs, when the flocks came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. And the flocks conceived before the rods, and brought forth cattle, ring-straked, speckled, and spotted. And Yaakov did separate the lambs, and set the faces of the flocks toward the ring-straked, and all the brown in the flock of Laban. And he put his own flocks by themselves, and put them not into Laban's cattle. And it came to pass, whensoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that Yaakov laideth the rods before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters, that they might conceive among the rods. But when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in. So the feebler were Laban's, and the stronger Yaakov's. And the man increased exceedingly, and had much cattle, and maidservants, and men servants, and camels, and asses,